Hey, welcome back, ball fans. Excited to say spring practice right around the corner, Bob. I'm juiced up for this. We're going to start doing some previews of all the position groups today. We're going to start out with the linebackers today. As with every preview we have, we're going to kind of talk about all the people in the room. Of course, we may get a transfer after spring on some of these rooms.
Right.
And we will be talking about some people that's going to miss spring practice. Today is going to be, Aaron Carter. I know he does. Talking ahead. I think someone else might be limited. But every year it seems like there's 2 or 3 guys that we find out the first day of spring ball that, hey, this guy had surgery 6 weeks ago and no one knew about it. And he's going to be A-okay, but, we're not going to see him every year. So, Bob, let's dive on into it.
Yeah, it's an exciting group for me, Tim. Honestly, you start thinking about position groups on this team, talent-wise. I'm going to say, I'm not sure where I would put them in the top 3, but probably top 3 talent-wise, somewhere in there with the quarterback group and maybe the Leo position. I don't know if we can think of another group that's more talented than that and the linebackers. I love the talent in this linebacker room, and we're going to talk about it. A lot of it's young though.
Yeah,
very young.
So it's potential.
And as a ball
fan,
as a ball fan, Tim, I'm always looking to next year. I'm always pumping up a freshman or a recruit into that stardom, and no reason to stop now.
That's part of fandom, Bob. It don't matter who you really follow. Every team is undefeated going into this coming year.
I put a little bit of fanatic in the fan myself. But let's look at, last year, Tim, you lost Paley pretty early on in the year.
About midway through, and it's just a shame. I think Paley was a great young man who was a very good ball player. Unfortunately, he's had very limited opportunities to show it at Tennessee.
Yeah. You got basically your starters back with Aaron Carter and Jeremiah Thielander. But I'll say this too. 2 solid guys. I think Carter has the most talent of the 2 and showed flashes of being very good at times. I think he can make a big jump next year. Thielander's going to have to fight to keep his spot because I think Edwin Spillman takes his spot, in my opinion. I think he's a future star.
Well, I do too. Now I want to touch on Carter a little bit, though.
Yeah.
He was somebody, it seemed like, when he played opposite of Paley, it was good for him because he was learning as he went, and Paley was covering any kind of mistakes. Once Paley went out, I think his confidence level probably dropped a little bit, and there was no one there to really cover his mistakes.
Yeah.
He still has a lot of room for improvement.
Right.
His boom bust factor is still way up there. Athletically, you look at him, he's everything probably Coach Inge wants in linebacker.
Yeah.
But he's still got a long way to go.
Yeah. There was a player or two athletically last year that when you seen what he did, it was like, okay, that's an elite linebacker play right there.
Mm-hmm.
So talent's there.
It is. And Jeremiah Thielander, coach's son, use all the outdated racial profiles for
some Jim Rat,
lunch, carry the lunch pail with him, all that good stuff. But the fact of the matter is, we would love if he was a step faster than what he is.
Yeah, just a hair. Just a hair faster. Maybe he can improve at speed in the offseason.
He brings some pop in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
But since everybody passes so much these days, you've got to. Experience does help too. Jeremiah Thielander is going to continue to get better, whether it's as a starter or as a backup.
Yeah, I agree.
Every time you learn and see things and are able to drop back a step quicker, half split, split second quicker, you get into passing lanes, your ability to affect It just gets better as you get older. Um, that said, Bob, I'm as excited about Edwin Spillman as anybody on this team.
I think he ends up mid-season next year. I think he's our best linebacker. That's where I think he'll be at. Um, I think he's going to be fantastic. He's just too much talent there.
Well, he played hurt. He got hurt twice last year.
Yeah.
And we're talking pretty much the day he got healthy enough to be on the field, the coaches put him on the field in key situations.
Yeah, and that's what tells you what they think about this guy. That speaks volumes about their thoughts on him. The guy behind him, Jordan Burns, they felt pretty good about him. If it hadn't been for injuries, they think he would have passed Jalen Smith last year and would have got in the rotation as a true freshman as well. So bright future for him as well. And then you go to the recruiting class we had last year. Outstanding. I mean,
Probably one of the best linebacker classes in the country, bar none.
it had to be. I mean, when you got Christian Gass, who Georgia was fighting us to the very end was wanting him bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jaden Harmon, who we flipped from Alabama, who they was wanting.
Yeah, say the same thing about them. Both those guys, Bob, it tells you how much, because we know how well Georgia and Alabama's recruited defensively over the last however many years. And they have classes that are made up of outstanding black players at those positions. They were still recruiting outstanding players at those positions. But these are two guys, both of them fought tooth and nail for.
Yeah.
They desperately wanted them on their teams. And, we were able to hang on to both. And Gass, there's some things, will he be a Leo? Will he be a linebacker? You've talked about it before, Bob, at 6'2", a little short for Leo if that's an accurate height.
Yeah, I think it is. But I have heard that thought that it could be one. Now, my guess is he plays linebacker and he's a guy we blitz quite a bit, because I think he's just got that knack for that. Looked great on film doing it. And, Harmon, he's just I think he's a true linebacker. But that guy's got some sideline to sideline speed.
Yeah, he's a little undersized at this point. Well, he was a high school kid. Of course, he's undersized for the college game. I don't know that I saw film of anybody that I liked more than Jaden Harmon. He looks like a heat-seeking missile out there.
Yeah.
His speed, like you said, from sideline to sideline was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And when he delivered, when he got up to you, he didn't tackle you. He blew you apart.
Yeah, he was blowing people up. I felt actually sorry for a lot of these high school kids he's going against.
Yeah, because it was devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's highlight.
He didn't lay up, lay off of me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it brings me to a little memory of like O.J. Owens way back in the day.
Yeah.
Never saw a guy that brought more wood to it when
well, yeah.
And everybody was like,
most impressive film I ever seen for a different
from a safety or whatever. And
he was a heat-seeking missile. Anybody, other ball fans, remember him? Ever watched his film? I mean, you could probably go find it somewhere out there.
No, I promise you could, and you'd be going, this guy had to be a superstar.
I know.
And he never really got on the field.
Yeah, he was like Ronnie Lott, but better.
Yes. So you always temper your expectations going from high school to college.
Yeah.
Well, these two guys, everybody in the country wanted them.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest about it, the other two guys were well wanted too. I mean, we flipped them from Southern Cal and prior to that, Georgia for Perlotti.
Yeah.
And Big Ten, Wisconsin for Brendan Ains. So let's talk a little bit about both those guys, Bob.
Yeah, Perlotti, flipped him from USC. Good prospect, somebody we must have had a lot of value in.
We stayed on him for a long, long time.
Yeah, because we already had, Gass and Harmon in the boat when we was trying to get him. So that's somebody we seem to really value big time there. And then with Brendan Ains, to me, that one's an interesting one. The timing of his commitment to us and when we went after him might make a difference in my thoughts on him. Sometimes you get these three-star guys, you get a commitment from
particularly in state.
in-state
If you get them early.
a year early. You're like, okay, maybe this guy's, we're just trying to get our class together and we like this guy. But, we just want to go ahead and get somebody in the boat.
That wasn't the case with him.
When you got what made him interesting was he is 3-star, but in the rankings. But we already had Gass and Harmon in the boat. You thought you had a pretty good shot at Perlotti.
It
And
would have been very easy to just say, that's your class.
that's our class. Yeah. But they was like, okay, we want this guy. And when you got those guys are in a boat and you think you got Perlotti, so you're like, man.
Yeah, and this
Take
was
a
not an
fourth
uncommitted,
linebacker.
this was not an uncommitted guy. This is somebody you had to go flip.
Yeah, so I'm thinking they must really be high on him.
I'm thinking senior film probably showed them a lot more than what they had previously thought of him. Obviously, they didn't offer and really push hard for him early on.
Yeah.
But as his senior season film come out, they changed their mind.
And timing of commitment sometimes tells a story, and that tells me that they really like this guy.
Yeah, so I don't know how much some of these guys are going to do this freshman year, this first season coming in spring. But, we'll get some. I can't wait to hear about them anyway, because they're going to show some flashes. But
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting spring practice watching those guys. They'll be watching them in drills, and that'll be a group of guys that will come spring game. I'm going to be like focusing on because there's a lot of talent in that group right there.
it is. I think that's a group that we've seen get better.
And it might go to, we've had some elite Leo play. We've had some position groups where we've been upper level. Linebacker may be a group that,
I believe we're about to step forward.
yeah, we're about to have elite level play at linebacker.
Yeah, something we've not been able to say the first few seasons under Coach Heupel.
Yeah.
Struggled really in the against the pass and our zone drops ever since they've been here.
Yeah.
I think William Angelo is going to be a good coming force on these young people. So that's our preview today for the linebacker class going into spring practice.
Mm-hmm.
We'll drop another one in a couple of days, so join us for that.
Yeah.
Getting ready for spring ball. Can't wait. So, Bob, unless you have anything else to add, I'm just going to say go Big Orange.
That's right. That's a part of the time of the episode, Tim, is the Go Vols.
Go Vols.